Slap bass groove number 9 is called Duck. Why? You know, if you listen to the great Joel Taylor on drums and the great Dean Brown on guitar, boy, they sound like the Blues Brothers. And it sounds like a bass line that Duck Dunn would play, though I've never heard Duck Dunn slap a bass. I'm still calling it Duck. And it's a funky little thing. It's a little busy line, but it's nice. It uses some hammer-ons. It uses some tritone double stops up there, a little bit of everything. But it's a pretty slick little groove where the bass sort of slides in the holes and moves it along. So let's check it out. We're in the key of G. So we're going to be starting in our favorite position. That's sort of the bottom. The whole main groove was on the downbeat. We're playing 1 and. So, and again, you can see that, number 1, our left hand is in position, so it doesn't have to move at all. Our right hand, not a lot of motion. We're slapping down with our thumb, hitting the string. I like to hit the top of the string and get away from it so it can ring. If I'm hitting the E string, I'm aiming for the A string. And I hit the E string and I let my thumb rest there. And then my first finger is underneath the D string where I'm popping the G on the 5th fret. Just to open my wrist. Again, and the motion of popping is not of bending your knuckles or the joints in your fingers. It is moving your wrist. And since your finger is in the way, the string is in the way of your finger and it'll pop and it'll make the sound. And this is going to make fast things like that. If you try to, it's going to be really difficult for you. All right, now, second half of the first bar, we're doing get some hammer-ons. And interestingly enough, the E minor pentatonic scale is the same notes as the G major pentatonic scale. So we have that same little box of where all the dots are. We're hammering on from the A to the B. And we're doing that ghost note. We're hammering on from the A to the B. And then we're sort of hitting the B. But we're not really making the note sound, because if we made the note sound, it was like triplets. Because then we're doing the same thing on the same frets, just on the next strings, on the E string from the D, on the A string from the E, D to the E, and then on the D string from the G to the A. And if we accentuated all the notes, it sort of sounds like a triplet figure, but if we ghost them, just gives it more of a bounce, more of a lilt, if you will. Then after we hit now we're going to the downbeat of bar 2, and here we're playing the high G first, and then going down to the low G as a direct opposite of the foreshadowing of the first bar. And there you do have to sort of move your hand, okay? Now we're going to repeat the first bar. And the second part of the second bar, first part of the second bar. Now we're going to go up here, and we're going to play the tritone, and we're going to play on the 14th and 15th frets of our D and G string. We're going to play an E and a B flat or A sharp, and move that up half a fret to our F and B, which are going to be the major 3rd or major 10th and the dominant 7th of G. Real popular bass lick. Jocko obviously played it a lot. Back in the old Headhunter days. A real go-to stable for bass players. So learn it now. Use it. Okay, then we repeat the first part of that phrase. So at the end of the first phrase, in the second and sixth bar, you see we do a little pickup before we walk up on the third, the fourth, and the fifth, B, G, and D, before we play that octave again. Now, to end the phrase, we do the same line. And then I'm playing beats 2, 3, and 4, just real solid, real quarter notes there. Not too legato, not too staccato, to sort of finish the phrase and just, again, give it a shape and an ending. So the whole line is going to sound like this: 2, 3, 4. And we're back at the top. So have fun and duck.